I ain't trying to get the park,
I would say this, that battle has put a dent in the pop culture, I would say. Now, put the guy that provides the vibe that we go outside to, and he decides to stay inside. No. And he's so rich that he don't have to come outside ever again and just look and laugh at the game because he's up a Billy. And now we might be missing a vibe for a long time, because who's the next person that's...
This is nasty work from Jim Jones. This is disgusting work from Jim Jones. And it's important that the clarification comes from somebody like me, right? Somebody, I know myself, that I know for a fact I'm a fan of Drake's music. I may not have the obsession with Drake the person like some of you stans have, and maybe that's why you're willing to sacrifice the well-being of the genre to protect his ego, right? But this is nasty work by Jim Jones. And it's the continuation of the propaganda that I keep seeing, right? Claiming that the battle was bad for hip hop, or that now that you've gotten what you wanted, it's not working for Drake or something in certain aspects, then that must mean that, you guys did something wrong. And or the add-on where people say, oh, well, there's, flaws and schemes in the system that's also not enabling his success. And these are all lies, because number one, why do we keep doing this thing saying that Drake's not dropping music? I am befuddled, bro. I am confusion. The reality is Drake has dropped music. He's dropped the most music after that battle between the two of them. And for what it's worth, when the music is good, the music is good. When Nokia dropped, I have posts saying, hey, I don't know what they doing, but they need to push that as a hit. And it became a hit. Went all the way up to number 2 on Billboard. And I saw outside, as Jim Jones is saying, the record work outside. When we do these things to protect artists' egos, and also at the expense of the genre, okay, we don't challenge the creatives that we love, that we like. When a record isn't good, it doesn't work. Drake has dropped more than a dozen records since the battle. He's dropped a whole joint project. In fact, his last drop was September, Doghouse. Like I said, fan of the guy's music, right? Fan of hip hop. So I know what I'm talking about. Doghouse, I told y'all, hey, I don't think that's the record. I said, hey, I don't think that's the record. And then while we were breaking down Iceman, I said, hey, dog, some of these sounds ain't matching these narratives that you got going on and the visuals that you got going on. And I know it's probably because of the lawsuit. Was I right or was I wrong? So that's number one. But in continuation, call it 1B. Then you'll turn around and say, well, he's got the most streams. So are you admitting, right, that bro's just fine, and the streams that are coming from the older music clearly show that people still willing to listen to Drake, and he just needs to drop better music? That's number one. Number two, what is this thing that we're doing with commercial artists right now? Forget Drake for a second. We're babying commercial artists. I'm confused. They dropping. 21 is dropping. Thug is dropping. Gunna is dropping. Who else? I know I'm missing people, right? There was a sequence when Future dropped some records. They're dropping. If it don't resonate, it don't resonate. Pooh Shiesty dropped a record that I didn't think was that crazy. It's resonating. If it wasn't for the Christmas records, it'd be a top 10 record. Cardi B has some joints, right? So that's number two, right? The records, the idea that, the battle, no. Is the record good or is it not good? Correlation does not equal causation. And then in addition to that, some of y'all need to really examine, again, the health of the genre, right? You need to examine why some of these records that are extremely commercial in their appeal may not resonate with the public right now, because you need to examine what the public is going through. All these bottles. We in a recession they ain't announced yet. One of the most, corrupt administrations ever out there. Right? That meme where the thing is like everything is fine, that little animal's like everything is fine is burning. Maybe that's what, because people look for hip hop to come out with a little bit of revolution. Right? So that's that. All right? At the end of the day, and it goes to my last part. It's either I know what it is. It's the propaganda to soothe the ego of a man that you really feel whatever you feel about. But that don't mean you don't get challenged as an artist. Right? And then the last one, number three, is this is my theory. It is absolutely correct. drop good music. Be aware of the environment that you're in, whether it's the other commercial people or it's Drake himself. I've always used the term Drake resistance, right? Be aware of that, how your actions may come off, because for the first time and maybe a long time, you can't just do shit and it's just like, all right, whatever, just drop the next hit. But you got to do a piece of everything. Drop an actual hit. You know what I'm saying? Be aware of the environment, right? And to me, that's really it. And the reason I purposely, kind of make sure that it comes from me is because the same way they was pushing propaganda during the battle when dude was kind of like on his heels and they saying stuff like, oh, he's not of the culture, this, that, and the third. I thought that was propaganda that they may not see, but I saw it. I said, this is not good for the health of the genre. We're going to lose a lot of diversity. There are people that are not cut from a certain cloth. Like, you may be critical of, the styles and things like that, or maybe you think that, I get it, but you don't get to excommunicate someone. But it's the same way now. When all this suppression talk, everybody's to blame but the person making the music, right? The Billboard, Spotify did this, that. It's the label, the same label you drop music. It's this, it's that. Or now it's the audience and it's the genre and it's battle rap was bad for the commercial. No, bro. Drop good music. Drop good music. In conclusion, dude's cooking up. Hopefully he cooks up well. That's it. But this is nasty, disgusting work by Jim Jones to do that in front of Conway. And Conway, I watched the whole clip. I tried to give you guys the pieces that was important. Conway was trying to, will him back in. Conway was trying to concede. Conway's a spitter. It's, you know what I'm saying? MC from New York, Buffalo, and you out there doing this commercial. And it's like Kanye was like, yo, I love Family Matters. And he's like, yo, but you got to understand too, guys like me, yeah, you may be talking about the vibes, but here's what we do. And Jim Jones just had to just ram the propaganda in. Right? So I know a lot of y'all have a heavy misread on my disposition. I hope this video clarifies more. I know it's not what you want to hear, but it's important that it comes from me. It's important that it comes from me because you need someone that deep down inside likes this guy's music, but can call out the bullshit and say, hey, Jim Jones, let's cut it out, bro. Let's cut it out. And have more faith in the guy. I have more faith in the guy than you do. Trying to use all these external factors. I have more faith that I've watched him for more than a decade come through the clutch with records. He drop a hit record, everybody be fine.